Hello and welcome to what is quite an off-the-cuff video for me. So I was just tidying up this room, which is my home studio, and one problem that I've had, which I've never really sorted out, is where to store headphones and wires and stuff. Usually they'll just end up sitting in random places like on top of there or, you know, over there. But today I finally thought, right, that's enough of that. We're not doing this anymore. So I went straight onto my computer, onto Amazon, to see if I could find any solution to storing headphones and wires and stuff. Anyway, I quite like the look of these pegboards. All it is a board and then some hooks, and then you can just like hang things from it. So just as I was about to click buy, a voice came through my head saying,
"No, don't spend 20 quid on that."
And I was thinking to myself, number one, that was a lot of reverb on that. But number two, the voice was right. I shouldn't be spending that sort of money on something that I could probably just make myself. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today. In my house, we've got loads of crap just lying around. So I'm going to attempt to go and source something from all the crap to see if I can make something to store my headphones. Right, so this is what I'm thinking. So this is what it looks like when I'm looking at my desk. Over there, I've got a whiteboard, and then over here, I've got nothing. So what I'm thinking of doing is finding some planks of wood to put on here, and then some hooks to go on the planks of wood so that I can hang my headphones. So yeah, my first step is go and find some planks of wood and some hooks out of the vast amounts of rubbish that I have lying around. They're being very noisy. Anyway, this was all the crap I was talking about. So I'm quickly just going to scan for it all and see if I can find something useful out of there. We've got quite a few of these, but I don't think these will work. There's this old shelf, but I think it's a bit too big. I think this might do the trick. Yeah, it seems like quite a good bit of wood. The only problem is there's a little split here. I don't know if you see that. It goes quite a long way down. But I might just be able to cut that bit out, you know, like chop it there and then just use the rest of it. One other thing I've just thought of then, actually. So this is my desk here. I built it myself using like bits of wood and then some IKEA legs. But I stained it this oaky colour. And I think we still have the same dye lying around. So I might be able to stain the other piece of wood so it matches the same colour as the desk. Right, I found the stuff. It's this one here. Ronseal. Right, so looking now at this piece of wood, you can see it's cracked all along here, but it looks like it ends about there, maybe? So if I call this bit the end, that gives me all of this to work with. So I know I'm not American or anything, but I've worked out that this space here is 29 inches, but a 29-inch shelf would be a little bit too long, I think. So now what I'm thinking is I might do two 14.5-inch shelves and have one for my headphones and then the other one for like wires and stuff. So I'm picturing like one here and then one there. So yeah, now I need to measure all this up before I properly cut it. So right, so after measuring everything, this is what I've ended up with. This is the bit that's wasted just because of the crack there. And then here's two equally length bits. So I'm going to cut there, I'll cut there, and then these will be my two shelf sort of things that go up there. Right, so if I remember correctly from Year 9 product design, I believe this is probably the best saw to use for what I'm trying to do here, because it's going to give me a nice straight line. I can't remember what it's called though. Possibly Steve. And then to hold down the piece of wood, I'm just going to use this clamp so it doesn't keep moving all over the place. So I think I'm going to start with this cut to get rid of the crap bit. I think I need to change saw. This one's rubbish. That's more like it. Also, I know I'm supposed to use the full blade, however I don't really have room to, so I can't. Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, as you can see, I've now removed the bit of wood that had the split in it. Actually, it split as well whilst I was cutting it, so it's a good job I didn't use that. But what I've done here is I've cut on the other side of the line so that I can sand this bit down and get it to the exact length that I need it. But yeah, now I need to do this cut. Right, so I know how I was using the other saw there, but I'm gonna have to switch back to this one because it's gonna give me a better finish. Though it is really rusty and also terrible, but I think I'll just have to put up with it for this one. Right, I was a little bit scared of this happening, but it's happened. I've sawn at a weird angle, so I'm gonna have to try and fix this now. It's getting really difficult now because the saw just keeps getting stuck. Finally. So as you can see, I've now got the 2 bits of wood, but I thought that other saw was going to help me. It didn't. That looks really bad. So I've got a lot of sanding to do now. I bloody hate sanding. It's coarse and it gets everywhere, but it's going to be absolutely necessary here to save me from this fiasco. Luckily, I've got this sander to help speed up the process. Loads of dust. I mean, it's a little bit better, but it's reminding me of COVID again. Probably a wise idea to put these on as well. Wow, look at me. I mean, I've been doing this for what feels like forever now, and I have basically got nowhere. Right, having sanded for probably about 10 minutes there, I've now just decided to not try and make them even because I've had a bit of an idea, which isn't totally orthodox, but it will have to do because I can't be arsed. Where I'm sat, if that's going to be on the wall like that, I'll see this end. I won't see the other end. Like, it's already sanded down a little bit nicely, but if it's at that end, you know, I'm not going to see it, so it'll be all right. And this end looks fine as well. Now I'll just sand the surfaces to make them a bit smoother and try and sand this barcode off as well. I genuinely cannot see a thing like this. Right, so I've sanded it well enough now, to the point where I can now put on like the varnish or lacquer or whatever the hell it's called. But something that I always remind myself of when I do things like this is I do really like doing woodwork and like making things. However, if you don't have the proper space nor the proper tools, it's an absolute pain in the arse. Especially when you see videos of people, you know, with big workshops and stuff, and you think, oh, it looks easy, and then you try it yourself and get the most basic things wrong, but it's still relatively fun. We'll see at the end of it if I've still got all my hair. Right, so I'm now going to put on this Ron Seal stuff. So I'll try and get into the... I need 2 hands to do this. Oh, finally. To make matters more annoying, it's now raining cats and dogs outside as well. Right, I'm going to put this old newspaper down so it doesn't damage the surface too much. Right, so I believe the best way of doing it is by applying it with a rag. So I'm going to try and doing that. Right, so it's a few days later now. I had a little bit of a fiasco the other day when I was trying to film this video because my phone ran out of storage. But I haven't done anything to the project since I was last like staining the wood. So this is where we're up to. I've just got these 2 pieces of this wood that's stained. So we'll pick up from there. Also with the wood, it's almost the colour of the desk. It's not quite the same colour, but it's close enough, so I'm quite happy with that. So this is what I'm thinking, something a little bit like this. On the top piece, I'd like these smaller hooks, just 3 of them. That's for hanging my wires and like just guitar cables and stuff. And then the bottom piece, I'm thinking these bigger hooks, just 2 of them for my 2 sets of headphones. So yeah, I need to measure it all out and figure out where I'm drilling the holes and where everything should be placed and stuff. So I now have it all marked out. You can see I've got little pencil marks where I'm going to drill. The first one to do is that one there. So I'll do that now. So now I've got my pieces of wood with the holes in them. Absolutely brilliant. Right, so I've just done all the confusing bit of figuring out, you know, what screws to use and what plugs. Using these, just your bog standard screw and roll plug. I've also figured out how far to drill into the wall. I've just marked it out with a little bit of masking tape. Right, so I'm about to drill into the wall now. So now I'm just going to put these plugs in. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. Same colour as the wall as well. Right, so I've got the 2 planks of wood on the wall now. The last thing to do is put the hooks on. I've just spent quite a while searching through a load of screws that we have in a box, and I found some screws which I think will do the trick. So there's 2 holes in the hook. The screw just goes through like that. So yeah, now I'm going to screw it into the wood. I'm going to drill a tiny hole into the wood where the holes are supposed to go, just to get the screw started off. So the first hook is halfway on, and I know the hook's a little bit dirty looking, but I just decided, you know, halfway through this project, when I realised that DIY is a little bit more complicated than it seems, I realised I really wanted that rustic look. So that's why that looks like that, you know, it's on purpose. One of the most important bits now is to tidy this up. Right, finally I finished the sodding thing. It's strange because what seemed like such a simple concept of just putting a few planks on the wall with some hooks on turned out to be a right nuisance. However, I did set out to have a storage place for my wires and headphones and stuff, and that's exactly what I ended up with. And it looks just like I thought it would have looked in my head when I started the project. It looks quite neat as well because it means there's no wires and stuff on my desk, which is nice. I do have a bit of a slight problem with that top plank there. Basically, I did the exact same thing I did for the bottom one, screwed it in the exact same, you know, drilled the same hole, but that top one is a bit wobbly, and I don't know why, because the bottom one's completely fine. But it's not too much of a problem because I don't plan on wobbling it. But the main takeaway from this is, I went on my computer the other day with the intention of buying one of these things, but I've managed to do the exact same thing for absolutely free, just from finding random bits and pieces around the house and in the garage and stuff. So yeah, I'm not the best at DIY, as you've probably saw, but what I've done there is probably something that everyone can do, and I'm happy enough with the outcome. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.